Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
Joseph,
Here I am.
you know what the worst sound is in Western civilization? The worst sound.
Bagpipes.
That's bad. But it's not even gunfire. It's not gunfire because if you hear gunfire, you can hide, right? You can hide.
Yep.
Or if it's close to you and someone's aiming a gun at you, you can say, "Here's my billfold. Don't shoot me," right? Yeah, and then you won't hear any more gunfire. Or you can race away in your vehicle, maybe.
Unless they carjack it from you.
Right. You can race away in your vehicle. It's not gunfire. You know what it is?
No.
What is it? You've intrigued me.
Beep. And then 25, 30 seconds later, beep,
Oh, you got a dead battery and something in your house.
smoke alarm.
Yeah.
Why? You know, we have all these viruses now, vaccines. We got 4 or 5. Let's forget this Operation Warp Speed crap about a vaccine.
Here we go.
And get a new smoke alarm. Why does a smoke alarm have to be this complicated machine? We put a man on the moon in 1969. Let's have a smoke alarm that just sits up there, and if it starts beeping, you just press a button and it recharges, or do something.
Okay, so it's not the chirp drives you nuts. You want an efficient machine
Yes.
that will last for 15 years.
Yes, at least. And what's Franelloni doing? Come on. Let's
He's selling 9
this
volts
thing.
left and right.
You got to get up there and change it.
Yes.
Or
And
it'll chirp forever.
And you need to film that too, please.
True. That's what I was going to say. A gunshot. You can get away from a
Hear
gunshot.
those? Yeah, you're just high.
These things, our house is set up so we got a dungeon downstairs, right? And the chirping at 3 a.m. upstairs
You can hear it everywhere.
woke me up.
You can hear it everywhere.
Woke me up. That chirp you can hear. It is impossible. Deaf people can be cured. Deaf people.
Because you're getting more upset because you're anticipating, like, why didn't it beep yet? And then
Yes.
you think, okay, and then it
Maybe
does beep
it's not
again.
going to beep again. You always get that.
Yes.
You get that 25
Optimism.
seconds of hope. Well, maybe just some little short in it or something. Beep.
And you got to find a ladder.
I got a ladder, and by the way, I got a 3-stepper, right?
Yeah.
And this one that went out was in the hallway, which, by the way, vaulted ceilings overrated.
Yep.
When you're trying to change
Yes.
a battery in a
Smoke detector.
In a smoke detector. First of all, we got, for some reason, the designers of the house, we got 2 of them 4 feet apart. One of them at the end of the hallway upstairs,
Okay.
and then one of them right inside the bedroom, right?
They said these people, when they built the house, they're really going to burn a lot.
So the first effort by me, first of all, climbing my fat ass
Why?
up on that 3 steps, and you get up on the top step, and you're kind of teetering,
Yes.
and thinking that your life is flashing in front of you, and you
And you're
can tip
half a
over
foot
at
off the
any
floor.
moment. And the first one I worked on for a while, I can't get it twisted off. Then I realized it's the wrong one. It's the wrong one. It's the one 4 feet away. That's
Yeah.
the other thing about the beep. It's kind of indistinguishable as to where it exactly
You
is
can't
coming.
triangulate. You can't triangulate.
So here's my problem. The wife figures out how to disassemble the other one.
Is she
right?
off in the distance right now,
No.
micromanaging?
She's
See,
saying,
this whole thing shocks me, and I'll
she's
tell you
saying,
why.
get down. You're gonna fall down, kill yourself, and then
It's over.
And then I'm gonna have to figure out a way to remove your body here.
Right,
you know,
right,
so,
right.
but you finally get the damn thing off, right? Who said that you have to have 50 wires?
Right.
Why can't you just have one bleeping wire that you have to deal about? Because once you get the thing off, twist it off,
Yep.
and
hardwired.
put the battery back in. Then you got to figure out how to shove all those damn.
gotta worm it.
You got to figure out how to shove all those bleeping wires back in the hole while you're up at the top of the third step with your life in danger, trying to twist it back on. And finally, as it always is with me, we now have a smoke alarm just hanging from the end of the wires.
I knew it, and here's what I'm going to tell you.
Yes.
You are violating your basic rule of life. You're the guy that'll get on an airplane and say, let's take a chance.
Yes.
Why do you even have a damn smoke detector? You don't need it. Take your chances.
Well, you have to legally.
I would take my chances, but there's at least 2 of the 5 in the house are now don't have batteries in them, right? And if you work it out right, but sometimes even when you have
That was March.
sometimes
July.
sometimes when you take the battery out, then they beep because they want a battery.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're saying, where's my
Well,
battery?
there's my battery,
I'm
so I
hungry.
can
I need
annoy
some juice.
where I can annoy the poop out of you, fat ass. I wanna have a battery that you have to change.
Joe makes a good point, though. You are the one that's no fuel cap on the jet. Let's go. I got to get to
Yes,
home.
yes, right.
And now you're.
I got to interview Gardy at 3.
Yeah, yes, I'm all for it. But no, if we didn't have them, that'd be fine. I'd take my shot.
Well, you got to
I gotta
have
look
them.
it up, see if that's legal.
You need my guys over Troy and Tim over at
There
Livewire.
you
So
go.
electrical contractors
Now
that will change
tell-
that for you.
Supposedly, I stopped at a hardware store. It wasn't, unfortunately, a Fratelloni's because this one was a little closer.
He'll forgive you once.
This one was a little closer. But the guy told me they have new ones, Joe, that you can have installed. They're kind of pricey, but they last. They get the lithium in there, and they last for 10 years. I think I'm going to go for it.
And in year 8. Chirp.
Sure.
We got 2 more years, jackass. You start talking to
I
him.
was thinking, there have been times when I was wondering if you just take a hammer, will it shut up?
Yeah.
You know?
Right. Sounds like
This
Grandpa
was at 3 a.m. was the problem.
And that's,
today.
they talk to each other. They say, no, not
let's
yet.
wait.
It's
Let's
only
wait.
4 in the afternoon.
Right.
Let's
Yes.
wait till,
So
1.
I come, the wife's up watching TV, the Insomniac, at 3 a.m., and I'm down crashing, and it wakes me up. Beep. So I come clomping up the steps, 3 little flights of stairs, little tiny ones. I get up there and I say, I think the beep bleeping thing is beeping. And she said it has been for about an hour.
All right. So according to the Minnesota Safety Council's website, it doesn't appear that that they legally have to be installed in your home. However, they do suggest that smoke alarms should be installed on every level of your home, including the basement.
Yes.
So it doesn't appear
Well,
that.
I will say that if the downstairs basement, the sleeping room, the one where you could have nuclear war in the neighborhood and you wouldn't know what was going on, except if it's beeping, then you could hear it.
Right, then you-
But it's down there behind the furnace room and next to the storage room, and if a fire were to break out, you'd have zero chance of getting
you're
out.
done.
You'd be done. It'd be all over.
It does recommend that smoke alarms should be replaced every 10 years and to consider purchasing a smoke alarm with a lithium cell battery with a lifespan of up to 10 years. There you
Well,
go.
I think we're going to have to go that route because, anyway.
Think it'll be
hate
your
'em.
last
I
one?
hate them. I hate the whole concept. Operation
hate
Warp
the
Speed
concept.
number 2. Let's do something about smoke alarms.
Right behind the vaccine, we need Smoke alarm reforms or
Yes,
whatever
right.
it is.
I'm seeing it right now. Hey, Don, Pat Royce, Star Tribune. Once you get COVID taken care of.
You only got a few days left here. Can you do something about
The worst sound in the world is
Oh,
what
it is.
you've determined. That's the worst sound in the world.
because, you know,
It is always at night. You're right.
Yeah, and
And you
it's-
sit there.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's not going away. It's never going away.
You have to address it.
Yes, Joe.
What are we going to name the Indians?
Well, I'm in favor of Spiders,
That's what I said earlier.
which was a prehistoric name when they were really terrible, but it would be a really unique, throwback, fun nickname. But they won't do it. They'll do Rocks or something like that to honor the Rock. They're going to do a more modern name, more T-shirt. But I think Spiders.
I think that it's
I
retro.
think Spiders,
Yeah.
they would sell a whole load of jerseys and stuff. And
Think of the merchandise alone on Halloween that they would sell. If
Yes.
they, you know.
Well, that's what they're going for. That's the name of the game. Is forget what the nickname is. It's all about selling merchandise.
No, I mean, one of the funniest things, if you want to read something hilarious, is they put out the list the other day of all the affiliates in Major League
yeah.
Baseball, the 120 teams, and there's like, when you're looking at high school nicknames from like the last 20 years, and you look and say, okay, that used to be an Indian nickname, and they
Right, you
changed
can
it.
tell, right.
Like the Burnsville Braves are now the Burnsville Blaze, and you look at Blaze, and you're not even knowing about it, and you say, okay, that used to be an
Right,
Indian nickname.
right.
That's and that's you can tell that any state of the union. I look up.
Well, my school, Mankato, were the Indians, and then he
yes.
switched to the Mavericks. I
Yes.
forget what year that
now,
was.
Mavericks wouldn't be quite. That'd be pretty good. But these non-plural names,
Right,
these collective names, are
Well, Owatonna switched.
What was Southwest High School? They were the Indians.
were the
they were the
Indians.
Indians.
What are they now?
Great logo. They had the Blackhawks logo. They're the.
I'm gonna look right
What
now.
are they? I
Look it
think
up.
they have a
It's very
generic
generic.
animal of some kind, I believe.
Because that's what Owatonna did when I was in high school. They switched from the Indians to the Huskies
Yes,
in the early 90s.
which is an odd name for Owatonna.
Yeah.
Huskies, but what the hell? You got to come up with something. Fulda used to be the Red Raiders. All we had to do was get rid of the red,
There you go.
and now we've gotten rid of.
I didn't realize.
Fulda,
I was looking up the Spiders' history. I thought maybe they had turned into a different franchise, but they were contracted. I did not know that. Out of the National League at the end of the 1899 season.
Oh, really? And then they came back as an American League team in Cleveland, and when 19. Were they an original American League team in 1901?
They must have been. They were one of 4 teams contracted out of the National League at the end of the 1899 season. The others were the 11th place Senators, the 9th place Louisville Colonels, and the bankrupt Baltimore Orioles.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So, Joe,
the Lakers.
I don't know. What's your recommendation beyond keeping the Indians as the nickname?
No, Spiders. I like Spiders.
Spiders. I like. Okay, Spiders. Yeah, I like that. Atlanta Braves. They have said they're not changing, but I got a hunch that.
The Braves and Chiefs are next.
Yeah,
Don't you think?
Braves first.
Seminoles will not have to change because the Seminole Nation loves that.
Although that has been argued, that there apparently are 2 tribes down there, and some of them disagree, but some of them don't. I guess.
What about Blackhawks?
That could be in trouble, huh?
That's the greatest team uniform in sports.
That's right. Can't you just change it to a bird?
Yeah.
Can't we just?
That is a great logo.
Although the logos. Well, that's the old Southwest High stole that logo.
Sure.
But now they're the Lakers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the
that's what I
Lakers.
just said,
Yes.
Yeah. So, which is not a bad nickname for
No.
Southwest because it's got some lakes in there.
But I wonder how the trickle. I was exchanging emails with someone earlier about this, and I'm wondering how the trickle down is going to affect. We've already seen it at high schools, but it's town ballers, Pat. Those there's a lot of Indian town ball teams out there. I think some of those are going to start changing.
Who's gonna change?
Shakopee.
You think Joe Krieger's going to make us change the Green Lake Irish or something?
I don't
the
know.
Green Isle Irish.
But
I don't think.
Shakopee, they might consider that. I would think.
I don't think Town Ball isn't plagued by a diversity problem, from what I can tell.
That's true. That is true.
yes. I got in trouble, in fact, this year when I said on Twitter when I was making fun of Michael Jordan as a baseball player because when that 6-month documentary on him was running, and they're trying. Everybody kept saying this crap about he could have been a big league baseball player.
Right.
And he couldn't have hit 7th for the Faribault Lakers, one of the worst swings, worst swings
Yes.
ever. So that was what point was I going to make here?
I'm not sure. Town ball.
Town
we're
ball.
going down that route of name
Oh,
change,
I said
diversity.
I said he wouldn't have even been the best black player on the Meesville Mudhens because they had the great Harry Davis, who was
Okay.
their center fielder there for years. That's a racist thing, I said. Town ball does not have a whole lot of African American talent.
Right.
And the Mudhens had a great player named Harry Davis, and this was a testimony to Harry.
Right.
And then I think I got away with
You're
it.
you're saying that some of that was lost on Twitter? I find that shocking.
That is. So I got one other thing, Joe. Mm-hmm. I ran across this. Now, let me say this. Joel Gray and guys like that, very talented dancers and singers, and a chorus line that includes male members. I'm
I don't
all
know
in
where
favor.
this is going.
I'm
Yeah?
all in favor of it.
Okay.
But can you win a Super Bowl with a quarterback who appeared in school musicals and danced in the chorus line and things such as that? You think? Can you? Yeah, I'm all in favor of it. I have no problem with it. I just don't know.
What are we
if
talking about?
Kirk.
Oh, Kirk.
There's an email, there's a tweet out there about Kirk and school musicals. I'm not sure if it was high school or.
Well, but maybe it was a requirement. You know, you have to do so many different
It could-
types of
or
courses.
It could have been a prank. I don't know, but he's that is Kirk, right?
Because
That's
I'll say
definitely
this,
Kirk.
Pat. I'll say this. I'm not a Cousins fan, as you know, but I also was in a school play only because one of the cutest girls in our school was also in that
Yeah,
same
but
play.
this is a
Undefeated.
musical. Was it a musical?
Oh, it was not a musical.
This is a
Okay,
musical.
It was not
Well,
a
do we
musical.
know that Kirk was a crooner?
I'm
Yeah,
looking up
they
right
got
now,
Kirk
Mitch.
singing. Can you?
Well, I'll see if I can find it.
on
Yeah.
Twitter. That Kirk singing is one of the parts of it. I just ran across it. It's been out there for a while though. So, and I'm, it's. I guess it
Explain something to
might
him.
have shown he might have shown those crazy legs he showed running yesterday. Here he is.
Morning, oh, what a beautiful day.
Where's the explosion sound?
Yeah, I'm just getting into it.
Now here's he's dancing.
Pretty woman walking down the street.
Overthrow him, and the ball won't be. And barely misses wide right.
Well, I know.
Explain something to
Yes.
him.
Here we go.
Go
If
ahead.
the Vikings keep him next year, they have to pay him $33 million.
Yes, but if they let him go, they take a $30 million cap hit.
Yeah, he's on the books regardless if
Yes,
he's on the team
30,
or not.
20, and then 10. So
Yeah.
plus,
By the
he
way,
has been okay,
He's
but
been fine. I mean,
he did show you that down the stretch yesterday. He showed you that little extra second that he holds the ball.
yeah, taking the sacks was not my favorite thing about yesterday's game, but the kicker was the only reason they lost the game.
Patrick, you're never going to find Brady more beatable either. He's starting to really show his age.
When he can't step into his throw, he's got no change. He's always had the greatest feet in the pocket ever. Not a lot of them, but he's always been able to make the right step and then get himself a foundation to throw. When he tried to throw just on arm strength yesterday was when he was looping them out there and overthrowing them and stuff like that. That was amazing. Never has a team gotten their ass kicked for 20 minutes like Tampa Bay did, and they were ahead 7-6.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
They just smashed them.
Did they can that Bailey today?
I don't think it's official yet, but has Zim done his press conference yet?
He usually does it at around 2:00, I think, day after.
Judd reminded me today. What was the name of the guy, Brian, that they had for the kicker?
Blair Walsh?
No, Brian, B-R-I-E-N.
Oh, Doug Bryan.
Doug Bryan.
Missed two, yeah. I remember that.
Ticey cut him in the press conference after the
game.
game. Ticey didn't even give poor Doug. Doug is in the locker room moping around, dressing, and Ticey's out telling the media, yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. Because he brought back Gary Anderson.
Oh, was that what he
next
brought
week?
back?
Yeah, he brought back. And
Okay.
because that was against the Bills when the extra point was still being snapped from the 3 or wherever, when the extra point was only 15 yards.
Joe,
and he missed 2 of them.
Joe, there's like 25 of these guys that just sit around the country and wait. There's like a list of these
Wait for the phone to
kickers.
ring.
They've been in the league. They're out of the league. They've been in camps. They haven't quite made the league. But they just wait for Tuesdays, actually Monday evenings, because on Monday evening, there's a plane ticket for you at the airport. We're having a tryout tomorrow. There's 3 guys
Come on
coming
down.
in. There's like 20, 25 of these guys that are, and they never quit because, they might get a job. What the heck?
They still got their knees.
Adam Vinatieri, let's go. He's
Kicked
only
until he was 40,
47.
yeah, right.
He's probably back in South Dakota, isn't he?
I
Or someplace?
don't know where but I know that's where he's from.
And,
that's funny.
they could probably bring him in.
What the hell? How old was George Blanda? He had to be 47.
40,
He's still kicking.
46 or 7.
By the way,
that's it.
speaking of getting ripped, all I said was maybe we can find that, because I couldn't remember her name. Maybe we could find the gal from Vanderbilt in the second half.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And people went after me saying, that gal's got a name. Oh, okay, you're so woke. All right, thanks. I appreciate that.
She made she made an extra point, right? And this week she made an extra. Last week the celebration was the fact, Joe, that you pointed out that she kicked a kickoff like 20 yards, but yesterday she made 1 or 2 extra points. Right? For the high-flying Vandies who finished 0-8 and fired their coach.
Speaking of 0-8, what's the maximum number of games the Gophers will play this year?
If they go to a bowl game, they could play 8.
Okay, but that's my point. You don't have enough courage to say it would be silly for us to go to a bowl game based on the season?
I don't think the administration will allow them to go to a bowl game.
I hope not.
How are they eligible?
Well, there are no guidelines.
Oh,
this year.
there isn't. Okay.
No, LSU, which was 3-5 before they upset Florida, but they've had like 30 guys either quit at the end of they've lost like their whole team, and they announced because of NCAA violations, which. An investigation, which shocks the hell out of me, but my guy Ed might have fudged the rules a little bit, that they are not going to go to. They're taking a
stance.
They're, as part of their punishment, they expect they won't play in a bowl game.
They aren't going to go to the Beef O'Brady Bowl. Well, that's very noble of you guys.
The bowl up the road in Shreveport or something like that.
Did you? But Joe, I know Pat saw this, but did you see how that game ended with LSU and Florida? By the way, on Saturday,
throwing
I
his
did
shoe,
not.
right?
Yeah, Florida was dominating their offensive line. LSU could not move the ball. They were. It was a 4th and 5. The play is concluded on 3rd down, and the defensive back, the dummy from Florida, picks up the receiver's shoe and chucks it 40 yards down the field.
They call it 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty. And
then they set him
kick
up
a
for the
field goal,
game-winning field goal.
Yeah,
It
right.
was just hilarious.
Oh, LSU needed that one too because they've what a terrible year for my guy Ed.
Yep.
But
Blanda was.
Is Ed the guy with the accent, the thick
Ed,
colloquial
yeah,
accent?
yeah.
the nothing better than when he's talking to his mom Coco, and they're speaking Cajun French. Man,
That's right.
Dang it! Now I got to find him here. Give me a minute here.
Oh, I love
Blanda
that
was
guy.
48 years, 109 days, the oldest player ever to play in an NFL
Well, he
game.
played quarterback till he was about 45.
Yeah, then he
still
had a little
playing.
trouble with was a Hallis or Papa Bear when he went from quarterback. He got an injury and then he went to kicker.
I thought he played for Oakland.
But he kicked for years when he was also the quarterback. But later on, he got to Oakland in the AFL and then kicked there forever.
Okay.
Played a little quarterback, too.
Okay, I got a little Ed here, and I know
Here's
Royce
Ed.
will love this clip that I found of Ed.
Makes me proud. I love President Trump. He treated us very well. We went to the White House. I think he's doing a fantastic job.
That could have been the reason 8 or 9 of his black players quit.
Oh my
He's had a bunch
Is
of
that
them
when
quit.
Trump served him the fast food meal?
Yeah, I think it was.
They had
those
the
guys.
burgers or
Yeah.
something?
That's.
Here's another one.
For Northwestern State, and then after graduation, took volunteer coaching jobs while moonlighting in the hull of a shrimp boat.
And I'll never forget, man, we shoveled shrimp from 5 in the morning to 10 at night. I had a shovel in my hand, and the phone rang. And he goes, hey, man, they have an assistant strength coach job at Arkansas. Do you want it? I said, hold on. I took the shrimp shovel. Shoo! I threw it in the bayou, and I said, hell yeah. He said, okay, man, you got to be here by Monday. I said, I got one question for you. He said, what? I said, where the hell's Arkansas?
I talked to his buddy, last year when I wrote that column on him, the guy who was shoveling shrimp with him. Oh. And that was when they'd go to the bar, they'd basically had a hose and they'd hose themselves off. And then their buddy pick them up and take them to the bar, but he made them sit in the trunk going to the. They had to sit in the trunk to go to the bar because they stunk so bad from shoveling shrimp in the summer. Shoveling shrimp in the summer in Louisiana down at Grand Isle.
But it's in the trunk.
Oh man. Yeah. He's in that Sandra Bullock movie, about the recruiting Michael O'Hare.
Blindside?
Yeah. He's one of the coaches. He was at
I didn't even recognize.
He was at Ole Miss and won like 4 games. He was terrible. Big recruiter, though. Outstanding recruiter, supposedly. Such a good recruiter, he might be going on probation here pretty soon.
Is it worth me getting excited to watch Baker Mayfield, who I've never seen, but he's playing tonight? Is he worth watching?
He's not bad.
That'll be a good game.
He's a guy who's lucky he's in Cleveland and not New York or somewhere because his mouth would really get him in trouble.
Yeah.
He's
in the perfect location.
He's
You're
an
right.
arrogant young man, but man alive, the Cleveland Browns were a absolute joke, and Stefanski might end up being the guy they got from the Vikings. Might end up being the coach of the year, and he's really played well a couple of weeks. He's erratic, and they went for about 3 weeks. They just ran the ball, right? And then last week they turned him loose, and he's. But they like to run the ball, so I don't know how much you'll see of him. But who are they playing?
They're playing Baltimore tonight, so that'll be a good game.
Baltimore's. The COVID took care of them. The COVID kicked the hell out of them.
Yep.
So
Where did Baker Mayfield play in college?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Yeah, they had he's a Heisman winner, right?
Yeah, well, in fact, they almost had 3
back-to-back.
straight because Jalen Hurts, who's now playing for Philly, he finished 2nd or 3rd in the Heisman, I think.
They had the other guy didn't even make it, right? The other guy was who preceded Mayfield.
Well, you're thinking of Kyler Murray in between.
Okay.
In between.
Okay, no, I'm thinking of the one who won it about 5 years ago. Who was a very productive player, but didn't. Geez, they've had 3 of them in the last 5-6 years, right? 6, 7 years. Yeah.
Well, I think Carson Wentz might be in trouble because he played great yesterday. Jalen Hurts did, and they beat the Saints.
Yes, but Carlton Wentz is owed $30 million for next year and has a huge contract that they panicked and gave him a $100 million contract, so they might not be able to get rid of him. How's our girl Amy Olsen doing away today, by the way, at the Women's Open, Joe? Amy Anderson Olsen, who is from Fargo, or Oxbow. Yeah, she was 1 stroke behind, and then it got rained out down there yesterday in Houston, and 1 stroke behind. She's married to Grant Olsen, a great linebacker for Wayzata, and then a great linebacker in North Dakota State, and he met her up there.
Pat, I know you had a giant tirade about 23 minutes ago on the program, so I thought we'd call in an expert to help you out. So Mr. Fratelloni's on the line with us right now. Mike, Pat has a tirade. Are you ready?
Mike.
How you doing, Pat?
You're in the hardware industry.
Yes.
You guys, you've probably made some improvements in your life, right? I mean, things have gotten better in the last 40 years, like better shovels and, better light bulbs.
Always looking for a better shovel at the conference.
Why are smoke alarms the same piece of crap complicated, god-awful, miserable machine they've been since they were invented 30 years ago.
I have no idea.
Why don't we improve them? Why don't we jack them up a little bit?
Why doesn't the thing just say, I'm the one with the bad battery?
Yes,
or have a light that blinks so you could say, oh, it's that one, instead of having to try to figure out every single one in the...
Listen, if you haven't noticed, I'm slightly overweight, and I'm 75. And I had to climb up a 3-step ladder at 3 a.m. in a hallway, teetering up there, and it was the wrong one. It was the other one, like 8 feet away.
Basically like a flying Walenda. Up on the...
Mike,
it's enough to drive you nuts. They never happen at noon on a Sunday.
No. And I just told Joe that it's a worse sound than rifle shots in the neighborhood. I'd rather hear rifle shots in the neighborhood than that beep, which you can hear from miles away.
You can't hear it from miles
chirp.
away.
You can hear the chirp from a mile away.
The squirrels stop.
fact,
The chipmunks
You're
are up.
driving along and you hear the chirp and you say, boy, I hope that's not my house. You know.
What I'm going to do, Pat, out of respect to you, I'm going to go ahead and take some notes today. And then from this point on, I'm going to contact all the manufacturers.
Yes.
So keep your cell phone on because they might call you for more ideas.
Okay.
Right.
And
At the conference.
Hey, Mike,
Yes.
why all the wires? Why do we need 40 wires? How not like 2 that you can fold back
He
up
gets
in there?
worked up about the damnedest thing.
Right. Fred Alone just sells them. He doesn't, he's not the engineer on them.
Hey,
I've had the exact same life experience, so I literally ripped 3 of them off the ceiling one night. In the middle of the night, just ripping them out, thinking, well, one of them has to die if I rip them away from the house.
Well, I got this one dismantled, but it's hanging by those wires right now. And I managed to get the battery in it, but I could not get the wires tucked back up inside. So then it started chirping again. So then I had to take the battery that I put in out.
You should have Kenny come over and help you with those. Kenny will take care of that.
oh, that's true. Kenny
Yes,
could do that.
Kenny could do that, and Kenny probably would, but he'd demean me for my lack of lack of the knack, as Joe calls it.
Yeah, well, and whatever you need, we'll take care of it. I have notes. Figure
Okay.
in about 25 years, you'll see improvements in that.
Okay. Yeah. Right. If I make it to the Sid's age, we'll have an improved smoke alarm.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, boys.
See you,
How are
Fred.
the girls doing?
They're doing so good. They're doing homework right now from home.
I miss them. I used to turn on the cartoons for them here. They're
That's
a couple
true.
of-
Yes, you did.
Couple of cuties. So
It was so sweet. We'd come in, and he'd open up his office door and say, go watch cartoons. I thought, oh, my goodness, what a gentleman. I had
See,
no idea.
I am
thought
a
you would-
nice guy.
I thought
I
you would
just-
hit him with the fingertips and shoot him out of the way.
I am a nice guy. I just don't want anybody to know it. Right?
Yeah,
So,
okay. I'll keep it on the down low.
Right.
Thank you.
See you, buddy.
Okay.
Unlike Sid, who wasn't a nice guy and wanted everybody to know it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
Come over here and I'll flick your ear.
What else is going on? Are we about had it here? What do you think? You played golf on December the what?
Well, it was last Wednesday,
Wednesday.
the 9th.
Wow. That's incredible.
Is that the latest you've ever played in the year?
And people played the next day. People played the 10th. I did not.
Joe, have you reached a point in life where you don't give a damn if it's a white Christmas or not?
Absolutely.
I have too. I'm not. I used to say, oh, man, this is no fun. But,
Oh, no, this is fine with me.
boy, there's some people around the block, though, that have got some stuff on the house that is incredible. It's...
I don't want to rip this guy, but with terrible excitement, I was told about a house near me where the guy apparently found and purchased all the stuff that was in the Dayton's
Yes.
8th floor Christmas
I know
display.
where that house is.
Wow,
Okay.
that's to be worth some dough, man.
Well, and they're telling me, you got to go see this. This could be a column. It made the news. It was on one of the news
Yes.
channels.
Yes.
Channel 11, I'll bet.
I drove by, ding, ding.
Yeah.
There was about 3 figurines, and a sign that said Santa's Workshop. Ding, ding.
You were less
Where's
impressed,
the other
huh?
stuff? The Dayton thing was
I
a
don't
whole
know.
floor.
That was an 8th floor auditorium. The whole it was the all the things going up the ladder and the elves doing the same, wrapping the presents and stuff
I was
like
kidding.
that.
I was pumped. I went, this is going to be big. And
You think they oversold it, huh?
I think it was oversold to me.
I'm a little worried about the future of that city block that they were going to build, that Eric Dayton and his pals were going to build in the old, now Macy's building that's abandoned there. And I think the pandemic has kind of stopped production there, and other difficulties. That doesn't appear to be much work being done on that place anymore.
Downtown Minneapolis is not bustling for Christmas the way it has in the past.
No, it's not. I go down to the Star Trombone building a couple of times a week just because I like the loneliness. It's great. Yeah. There's this huge place with for 240 people, and I'm the only one there. Maybe another.
Sure hope a fire alarm never goes off.
No. Sure. Yes. Did you start it? They'd think I started the fire too. Yeah. It would drive me crazy. It does drive me crazy. I can't stand it. But it's a sad deal when you got to call an electrician to change a battery in a fire alarm. But I want
the Vice got Sunday, boys.
We have the Chicago Bears, who just used the Mitch Trubisky aerial circus to end their 6-game losing streak, right?
And they will beat the Vikings on Sunday.
No.
Garrett, I will bet you any amount of money.
Is that a Sunday nooner or a Monday game?
It's at noon. I guarantee it's going to happen. That was their shot. The season's over.
I think it's a tragedy that the Vikings didn't lose that game when Chad Beebe dropped the punt, because then it would be so easy to agitate Zim on the Zoom. Zim, if it wasn't for all these special teams screw-ups, you'd be 9-4. What the hell, Zim? It's too bad he had the mask yesterday, because the red neck that he would have displayed.
I turned on the radio just to hear Greg Coleman talk to him after the game yesterday. Zimmer sounded like a guy who had a knife stuck in his ribs, fighting for breath because he was bleeding to death.
And Greg was trying to pump him up in some way.
Find a silver lining.
Excuses.
How about that time of possession?
Yeah, excuses about the officials and stuff like that. Oh, man, when Zim
goes, you'd like to see him make those kicks.
They don't generally play the same role, but kickers to football coaches are goaltenders to hockey coaches, right? They hate them.
Right. You can
see
that yesterday.
They hate them. And when they're in a slump, there's no coach that has any idea how to get them out of it, right? I mean,
it's got me thinking of something.
All of a sudden, you can't see the puck, and it's going in, and like the guy that beat the Wild when they had the good team, Jake Allen, the goalie from St. Louis, that knocked him off in the first round, standing on his head. The next year, he got fired single-handedly. He couldn't stop a volleyball. How does the goalie and this Bailey had been fine, and then now all of a sudden he couldn't kick for the Burnsville Blaze. So.
Now that you mention it, there probably is one or has been one, but I can't think of an NHL goalie who ever became a coach. I can't come up with one.
Not many of them. What was his name? The guy who played for the Islanders, the Smith guy. He didn't. Who was their goalie?
Well,
when they won the cups.
No. Patrick Roy became one.
Yeah, Patrick Roy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and he lasted about 20 minutes.
And I know his name is we've always said Patrick Roy on the Ride with Royce. We've always called him that.
Yes, if they don't know how to pronounce their name, that's not our problem.
By the way, Pat, I disagree with you about the kicker being down and no coach being able to really talk him out of it, because I know one guy that could.
Positivity is going to change this culture, period. When you get inside the football walls, you're going to have positivity hit you right in the face.
Boom.
Can you imagine?
They got a streak going, huh?
Can you imagine the level of horse poop that we would have up to our neck if they didn't have a lot of COVID. The back slaps we'd be giving this crazy SOB. If how he prevented, they took all the precautions. They followed all his advice, and what a wonderful job he did.
Man.
But now it's, hey, nobody's to blame. No, I'm not saying he should be to blame, but the reverse would have been praise of the highest magnitude.
Yeah, you're right.
Meanwhile, one guy played all 8 games in the Big Ten West this year. I was crusty old coach Kurt Ferenc,
I love him.
who went through all the black players revolt this summer and the whole thing, and now they're playing the second best football in the Big Ten. They won their last 6 and played all 8 of their games.
Yep.
So, and also he tried to embarrass PJ with the timeouts, and he embarrassed Scott Frost in Nebraska. So
Apparently, I was monitoring this via Chipper that he was listening to Nebraska Cornhusker fan line after the game.
Oh, good.
And some of the folks
Can't
are a
beat
little
it.
wound up
Can't beat
after
it.
that loss.
Can't beat it. The greatest post-game show I ever heard was I was in Cleveland for the drive when Elway took him down the field into the wind, and Denver went to the Super Bowl and Cleveland didn't. And so I'm in there hacking for 4 hours, right? I get in the car, I'm driving to the airport. That's back when you have late flights from towns.
Right.
And I virtually, it was so good. The people were so upset
I love that.
I considered changing my flight to the next morning so I could keep listening to that post-game show. It was unbelievable. How
I love the passion of football, the fans
angst.
of football.
Oh, yeah.
Why didn't they just go, it's 3rd and 1? I would have done a rollout instead of up the middle, stack it.
But if they do go for 3rd and 1, don't make it. Why didn't he kick the field goal?
Exactly. Take the points.
We've salvaged the Wisconsin game, huh?
Yes, that's good.
3 o'clock Saturday.
Wisconsin's playing terrible. They looked great early. They had the 2 weeks off, and they haven't scored over a touchdown.
Is
right?
the only reson that they did that was to keep the tradition? Is that
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and Purdue's playing Indiana too.
They are. Okay.
They shook it up a little bit, although, and then the other games they just slapped together basically after they changed the rules to get Ohio State in the championship games.
Right.
But I guess that's okay.
Well, I'm only okay with it just because they already had the head-to-head with Indiana and they beat them, right? I mean, I'm okay with them putting Ohio State in there, aren't you?
Yes,
they're cheaters.
yes, but then don't pontificate about the. I don't think anybody in Ohio State cares about Columbus. Nobody cares about the Buckeyes anymore because they just won the soccer championship.
Oh, that's true.
The Crew beat somebody. No,
The United.
No, they beat
The other
no,
United.
The Seattle, whatever they are, the one that beat us.
Oh, the Sound? Aren't they the
Mm-hmm.
Sounders? I can't remember what their name is.
So, Joe, if the Saints are ever playing, are we going to get you to a AAA game?
Absolutely. I think
That's
that'd be
right.
fun. Yeah.
I think it will.
I
be.
still have not been to that ballpark.
What?
I know.
Hell of a ballpark. I'd say.
The time I was there, though, I had the grassy knoll seats.
Oh, did you?
I didn't have a real seat.
Oh, yeah. Well, Beck told me, did a piece on it for Sunday, but he told me that his wife, Libby, came up with, the standing room only is what everybody does. So you feel like an inferior citizen, right?
Yeah.
She said, name them roaming tickets.
Oh.
Roaming tickets.
tickets.
So now,
Genius.
instead of you being a second-class citizen
SRO.
who could only get SRO, now you've got the advantage of being able to roam.
I'm just going to.
Roaming.
Roaming, yeah. Roaming through the stadium.
I'm a roamer, so I said, now she's smarter than you are as far as
They're not jacking up prices, are they?
not much, maybe $1, I don't know,
Okay.
but they're not gonna. Why would they? They don't have to pay the players. They didn't
Oh,
pay them
that's
much.
true. I didn't even think of
but
that.
They don't have to pay the staff. They don't have to pay the players. They might have to add a couple of people to their sales staff and stuff.
So it's just straight revenue for him. Wow. Or is there a
Well,
licensing
Twins
fee?
got to get a taste, don't they?
well, the Twins bought a hunk.
Yeah.
The Twins
Okay.
bought 20% or 25% or something. But, Well, the good news is if it's a success in about 3 years, the Twins will probably buy it. And then they'll walk away. I think Mike's 70 now. So
Yeah,
I
he's not
think
gonna
he's
do it
probably
forever.
ready to walk
It's not
away.
like radio. You do radio forever.
Marv Goklang's the same age, too, about that same age, too. So,
Bill Murray.
yeah, if they can. I don't think Bill needs the money, but I think Mike could use it. As Mike was telling me, he's his old man, the greatest marketer of all time. He said he died broke.
I think they should kick things off with a tribute to the old man with a disco demolition night to kick things off. Don't you?
I think they should recapture the night that the opening day that they had at Comiskey when they came out with a Revolutionary War band, kind of look like, and Beck came out with the peg leg. He was the guy. He was the guy with the peg leg walking out. They came out on opening day and they marched down like the Revolutionary War band, and he had the peg leg playing the flute or something.
Are they going to have a TV deal?
They might have a few games on FSN. I suppose through the Twins will do a few of their games.
When the Twins are off or whatever.
I don't know, but if I ran Score North, I'd be trying to get them on the station as we're the home of the Saints.
That would be wise.
So anyway, it'll be fun.
All right, I got to go.
He's got to go.
See ya. It was a thrill. See ya.
I might go for a walk despite the cool temperature.
Oh, 19 out right now.
A Such walk or a Royce walk?
If you want to make a drive over and change a smoke alarm, come on over.
It's available over in Golden Valley.
We've both had negative COVID tests in the last 10 days or so we're okay.
I guess I'm getting one Sunday.
All right. Well,
I
get
gotta
your
go down and get one
spittoon
Sunday.
ready, baby. Take a little extra spit with you and put it in a vial when nobody's looking.
Do they have a Wizinator
Take
for
some
that?
extra spit.
Do they have a Wizinator for that one? Can you get somebody else's?
COVID Wizinator. Yes.
The wife was in there like 15 minutes. Took me a half hour. I took her last Friday, and she got in and out quick. So
Damn.
better saliva person than I am, apparently.
And here is your guy, Mr. Money Talk.
It is Josh
Joshua.
Arnold.
Happy Hanukkah, Josh.
All
Be
right,
the man.
boys.
See ya. Here's Josh.
Hey, it's Reavers for Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk. Do you know what you own? Well, Josh Arnold's clients know what they own, and he has found that most people that he meets with every day, they don't know. Josh has seen retirement portfolios that have a big percentage in bonds. There are real instances of people paying more in commissions and fees than they can possibly make on the rate of return that these bonds currently yield. Know what you own. And you're going to hear later today in GL about some very interesting news as it relates to fast food and chicken, and also some big news on Howard Stern as well. Trust is often overused and even harder to find. Please take it from me that you can trust Josh. Give him a call today for a free 48-minute financial consultation. Yes, free. Give him a call at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608.
This is Patrick Ricey for the Canopy Group. You have heard me share why I recommend the Canopy Group for your insurance needs. Take a listen to a satisfied Canopy Group customer.
Hi, this is Dory Hansen-Schlins in Maple Grove. My husband Roger and I just want to say thank you. We've been a Westfield or Canopy Group customer now. I think this is our the end of our first year. Just paid my insurance premium. You guys are so good. Your service is great. But really, you run things so well. I'm just very happy that we found you. So it's just a big thank you.
To be like Dory and have the Canopy Group shop their 16 different options, getting you the best option for your needs, contact the Canopy Group at 800-967-3389 or go online to thecanopygroup.com.